Hi again, and welcome back to In Between Sundays with me, Marco Arroyo. I'm happy you are here. Before we get into the video, if you would like the video, subscribe to the channel and give me a comment on what you think about this. This is a really interesting conversation we're going to look at. Also, I have the link to my Patreon below if you want to support that. I really would appreciate it. You'll get the same thing for each payment tier. For me, just whatever support people can give, I want to give them some value for that and use the support to be able to help out the situation that I have here. I need to beef up this podcast a little bit, and it requires money to do that. The equipment and things like that. I've just got to get some better equipment here because you don't see it like this, but behind the scenes, this room is in shambles. But I'm making do with what I can, with what I have. But with a little help from you through Patreon, it would really go a long way, and I would really appreciate it. And again, give you some value for that too. You'll get like a weekly Q&A, more unedited videos. I'm chopping these up a whole lot right now and uploading them on a more regular basis. But you'll get fuller versions on Patreon, other things as well. Go ahead and check that out. The link is in the description below. Thank you so much for being here and for considering supporting on YouTube in any way that you can. I love you and I appreciate it. A red pill bro debates Lila Rose, who is a great debater for the pro-life movement, on a podcast with always way too many people. If you don't know what a red pill bro is, it's basically like this modern conservative slash not conservative at all wing of broism today. It's like basically the modern tough guys, these tough guys that spend way too long doing their hair, who spend way too much money on the clothes that they wear. I don't even know how to describe a red pill bro to you. If you don't know what a red pill bro is, basically, I'm happy for you. Your life is much better, but you're about to watch one debate. These are real people who believe stuff, and people pay them a lot of money to say the things and to argue for the things that they believe and talk about and argue for. And so sometimes, every once in a while, they get put in a position where they have to debate their ideas with someone who actually knows stuff. In this situation here, there's a guy. His name is Justin Waller. I don't know a lot about him. I've seen some clips of this guy, but he is like a red pill bro. And you're going to see them debate his lifestyle, his morals, his beliefs. With Lila Rose right here. Again, a great debater for the pro-life movement. Live Action is their YouTube channel. Really recommend a lot of that stuff on there.
Justin, do you ever see yourself getting married?
No, not on paper. No, absolutely not. I believe in love and marriage and in regards to taking care of a woman fully and your responsibilities as a father and a provider and protector. 100%. In fact, I think that's probably what's broken about the world. But in regards to letting the state get into all my businesses that took me over a decade to build, no.
Those are very
How do you think you're gonna get to the place of that marriage you want, with that family and that lifelong love that you just talked about?
I didn't say I didn't have family or children. I just said I was running your business.
Oh, I see. Okay. So you want to keep it private, is what you're saying?
That's what I said.
I understand.
Justin has enemies.
I might have multiple family.
Oh.
You never know. I might like family more than you. So much I have 5.
Do you think that's a good thing to have?
Okay, so first off, he says like, I might like family more than you because I'll have 5. I'll have 5 families. All right, so that's the kind of stuff that we're talking about. Again, if you don't know what a red pill bro is, basically stuff like that. Like, I have a wife and kids, and I also have a bunch of other women too, and my wife is just got to deal with that because I'm such a manly guy.
Multiple families?
I think it's
so she said, is that good?
So much I have 5.
Do you think that's a good thing to have multiple families?
I think it's good if there's one dad and there's not a bunch of step parents involved, and the dad can be the hero, and those 5 families live a 10x better life than they would have otherwise. Yes, ma'am, I do.
But you don't think that it will be ultimately an opportunity for jealousy or disharmony amongst
women? Are always
going
to be jealous. What's changed about that? Women have been jealous all the way through time. So,
I'm not jealous in my marriage.
I don't care about your marriage. I'm talking about mine.
Okay, so multiple things here, man. Okay, this drives me crazy on different levels. Okay, so he goes, yeah, I'm going to have multiple women, right? One day when I'm married, or maybe I'll have multiple wives or multiple girlfriends, and he'll say more of this stuff. And she goes, don't you think that'll be a problem? Like, women are jealous. And he goes, women are always going to be jealous. All women are jealous, essentially. And she goes, I'm not jealous in my marriage. She has like a normal marriage. And the normal marriages are becoming the weird ones in many ways. And so she goes, I'm not jealous of my marriage. And he goes, well, I don't care about your marriage. See, that's a sign of already he's losing the debate, because he just said, oh, all women are jealous all the time. She goes, I'm not jealous. I don't have that kind of a life to be jealous about. I don't have that kind of a marriage to be jealous about all the other women my husband is with. And he deflects completely and he goes, oh, I don't care about your marriage. But notice this too. As he's saying this nonsense, look at this lady on the right here.
And the dad can be the hero, and those
Look at her.
families live a 10x better life than they would have otherwise. Yes, ma'am, I do.
She says facts. Like, oh, that's awesome. Oh, he's so smart.
Disharmony amongst
Women
two
are always going
different
to be
families.
jealous. What's changed
I'm not
about that?
jealous in
Women
my
have been jealous
marriage.
all the way through time. So
I'm not jealous in my marriage.
I don't care about your marriage. I'm talking about mine. What my life is going to be. So I don't answer to you. So that's my answer. I'm going to run my situation exactly how.
He's on the debate show. He's on the debate show and he's like, I don't answer to you. You're here to debate. You're here to debate. Why is he going, I don't care what you think. I'm not here to answer to you. What are you here for then, guy?
Want to. And generally, when I do that, that's when I have the most happiness, let's say, in my life. So that's all.
It makes him
And
happy.
You would want that for your daughters?
Yeah. I live my life unapologetically on my terms. So if my daughters that are overly spoiled and educated in every way and have friends all over the world and world traveled in the best schools in the world, if they have a problem with me at the end of the day, then they can kick rocks too. I'm not going to simp for my daughters. I'll love them fully. But if they grow up and turn into a person that doesn't want to get in line with me, or look, here's my goal as a parent: teach my children how the world works, give them the skills so they can live on their own terms, and give them choice. If they choose not to make me part of their life after I've given them those things, I've still succeeded as a father.
But I guess I'm asking if you're comfortable answering, obviously. But are you wanting to be a role model for your kids? Is that part of
1,000%. A father should show up in every way for his children. I think I'll be better than most fathers.
How can you say my daughters can kick rocks if they don't like the life that I've created for them, where they see a dad and a mom, they see me and their mother, and then they see also me with all these other women that I have, and it hurts their feelings, it makes them jealous, and it gives them emotional issues. And if they don't like that, if they don't understand it, if they don't agree with the crazy, ridiculous red pill life I've decided to give them, they can kick rocks too. And then he's like, oh, a father should show up in every way for his kids. This is absolute lunacy. This is absolute lunacy. Yeah, totally. A father should show up in every way for his kids. I mean, I'm going to be the best dad ever. Again, notice what he just said.
But I guess I'm asking if you're comfortable answering, obviously. But are you wanting to be a role model for your kids? Is that part of
1,000%. A father should show up in every way for his children. I think I'll be better than most fathers, regardless of how many children I have.
I got to stop pausing, but man, that's crazy. I'm going to be better than most fathers.
I have 100.
But you think part of being a role model, it's okay for your kids not to know even your relationship status with their own mom?
They will know the relationship status with me and their mother.
But you have other relationships with other women too.
What does that have to do with anything?
But I'm just wondering if you think
I haven't even said that. I'm just saying, like, if I want to, I will.
But you don't think that's a problem for your daughter to know that about their dad? That he has multiple mistresses?
That's up to my daughter, man.
Wow, what a dutiful father here, huh? What a dutiful father. It's almost like he has no idea how traumatic divorce is for kids, how traumatic it is when one parent, they find out cheated on the other parent. It's almost as if he has no idea how traumatic it is for the instability of a child when these parents, when the status of their relationship is rocky, they don't know how it is. And he goes, it's not going to be, they're going to know what the status is. They're going to know that I'm with their mom and also I'm with all these other women, and that's not going to confuse them. And if it does confuse them, they do have a problem with it, whatever, that's them. There's a word called grifting. People believe that like guys like him or others, that they are just putting on this act. They know that what they're saying is nonsense, but at the same time, they know a lot of people will literally buy into this nonsense, give them money just to keep on talking stuff like this because they actually believe. But this guy, he's grifting, like he knows that what he's saying is nonsense, but he also knows that it would make him a lot of money. Maybe he's a grifter. Maybe he's not. I don't know him well enough to know. I don't know. But either way, I think I'm pretty nice with a lot of stuff. I think I'm pretty tactful with a lot of stuff. But then there's stuff like this where I'm like, dude, this is nonsense. Utter nonsense. It's like he doesn't know anything about things that cause childhood trauma. That the stability of a nuclear family is everything for so many kids. And the lack of that is the source of so much trauma. When he's confronted with, what if this traumatizes your children? He just goes, Well, that's their problem. I love them to death, but that's their problem. Because don't you have a responsibility to be a moral husband or spouse, not just to your wife, but knowing the impact that'll have on your kids? That's them. That's up to them. How they're going to feel about it, that's their problem.
But do you want your daughter to have a guy like that long term?
If he takes care of her in every way and she has a much better life because of it, yeah.
One of the best pieces of advice I've received in my life is be the kind of guy that you wouldn't be upset if your daughter married him, right? The kind of guy that if your daughter came with a guy like you knocking on the door, that you would go, she's going to be okay. He's going to love her. She can trust him. He will take care of whatever, all that stuff. Be that kind of guy. She's like, what if a guy like you ends up marrying your daughter? She's like, cool. This isn't just some random rogue guy, and I want you to understand that. This isn't just some random rogue guy. There are a lot of people who flock to people like him, and they believe stuff like this, and it is horrible. This is pure degradation of women. This is pure like vainglory, conceited stuff in so many ways. It's horrible, immoral, child traumatizing, relationship destroying, culture ruining nonsense. Nonsense.
If you have only one place in your heart for one woman, or you want to have one woman in your heart, I think you said, why don't you just commit to one and choose to be faithful to her?
I'm just not wired that way. I spent my whole 20s trying to fix myself. Thought
You're
something was
a man
wrong
of
with
self-control. You work out, you do business.
Yeah.
You can possess your own power and direct it the way you want to direct it.
It's just not how I am. It's not how I am.
You think that might be a limited mindset?
I think it's none of your business, but I don't want you to think I'm triggered by you. I'm not.
Okay.
I saw somebody say that, and I think that's interesting. I think you're annoying, but I'm not triggered. You know what I'm saying? No, you are. You're annoying in like this goody two-shoes type way, and that's fine. I'm going to live my life on my terms, unapologetically, like truly. So you can ask me this 85 different ways. At the end of the day, I'm going to walk out of here the same man.
And notice that he goes, I'm just not wired that way. I can't just be with one woman. I'm just not wired that way. And she goes, don't you think that's a sound? That's the sound of weakness, essentially? That's a limited mindset. You, the guy who's like more money, more work, more discipline. Don't you think that's antithetical to who you say you are as a disciplined man of principle? And he goes, it's none of your business. That's one of the signs that this guy knows that the way he's living is nonsensical, immoral foolishness. Biblical, godly masculinity, that's not the way. That's not the way it represents itself biblically. That's not what God says a man is. And I want that to be absolutely clear. You know, it's really fascinating when people talk like this. This is just the way I'm wired. This is just the way I'm the way I am. This is the kind of guy that says stuff like, no, I go the hard way. I take the hard route. Most men aren't as strong as I am. Most men aren't as capable as I am. And she says, don't you think that's a limited mindset? And of course it is. He is taking not simply the easy way out. He's taking the weak man's way out. He's taking a boy's way out. He's taking a pathetic way out. Real manliness, real manhood is understanding, like these passages that are in scripture talk about what real men really are. Drink water from your own cistern and running water from your own well. Notice what this means. Should your fountains be dispersed abroad, streams of water in the streets, let them be only your own and not for strangers with you. What's he talking about? Verse 18, let your fountain be blessed and rejoice with the wife of your youth. He's saying there is so much virtue and power and blessing to you and to your family when you are committed to the person that you love, when you're committed as a man to your wife. Husbands, love your wives just as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for her. So husbands ought to love their own wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself. For no one ever hated his own flesh, but nourishes and cherishes it, just as the Lord does the church. This guy says, I'm not wired to do that. My all is I just give money, I give sustenance, and I give some attention, but the rest of that I can't be strong enough to dedicate myself just to one woman. Notice how his language is so favorable to him. I'm just not wired that way. No, be honest about it. You're just not strong enough. You just don't care enough. So say what it really is. Real men love their wives, are committed to their wives, and they demonstrate before their kids, their sons and their daughters, what a man, what a husband is supposed to be in his commitment to them, among many other things. I'm glad you've been here. Again, thank you. I'm at a loss for words. Thank you for being here. Like the video. Give me your thoughts on this. Am I wrong about this? I really want to know if I'm wrong about this. Subscribe to the channel if you want to subscribe to the channel. If you want to support on Patreon, I really would appreciate that too. Again, you'll get more perks on there. Like I mentioned, you can check that out in the description below. God bless you. I love you. I will see you soon. Take care. Goodbye.